Long before humans took their first step beyond the moon, ancient civilizations had already mapped the stars, tamed black holes, and etched their histories across nebulae. Among them stood the HFY, millions of years old, ruthless in memory and revered across galaxies as the keepers of the old order. To them, humanity was nothing but noise, a fast-evolving, unpredictable species too young to matter. But whispers had long echoed in forgotten corners of space. Never provoke the humans, those who did simply vanished. When the HFY destroyed a joint human-scientist outpost near a dark matter rift, they thought it would be the end of the nuisance. Instead, it became the beginning of their legend's downfall. Earth didn't declare war. No threats were issued. Just a long silence before the stars around HFY space started going dark, one by one. What came next wasn't retaliation, it was a cosmic reminder. Humans were no longer new to the universe. They were something far worse, experienced and angry. Warnings in the void, the HFY were not like other galactic empires. They were old, so old that their origin was debated even by the most advanced civilizations. Legends claimed they carved their first throne world from the corpse of a dying star, while others discovered spaceflight through struggle and necessity. The HFY inherited the stars like kings returning to an ancestral palace. Their ships were living crystal, their minds linked in a neural lattice stretching across light years. They believed themselves untouchable. When humanity emerged from the cradle of Earth, the universe watched with subtle tension. While young, humans moved fast, too fast. They adapted to alien tech in years, not centuries. They colonized inhospitable planets with stubborn will. Their diplomacy was unpredictable, their alliances strange, and their culture infectious. The silent warning echoed through interstellar back channels. Do not provoke the humans. They are not like us. The HFY, in all their arrogance, ignored it. The outpost and the silence in orbit of the Tarsi's Rift, an unstable dark matter anomaly. Earth had built a scientific outpost known as Horizon Deep. It was not military, it was not colonial. It was staffed by astrophysicists, xenolinguists, and a handful of AI systems designed to study spatial rifts and subdimensional frequencies. The location, remote and volatile, was agreed upon by Galactic Charter as neutral space. But the HFY saw no such neutrality. According to their ancient records, the Tarsi's Rift was a sacred region once used for transdimensional rituals. In their pre-technological era, their demand was simple: evacuate and dismantle Horizon Deep. Earth politely declined. 3 days later, Horizon Deep was erased. No declaration, no warning. A single HFY dread entity, Vorkel Prime, emerged from the rift and released a weapon that tore the station into non-existence. No debris, no survivors, just silence. The only reason Earth knew what happened was due to a signal buoy launched moments before the destruction. It carried 12 seconds of footage, alarms, screams, a blinding flash, and then static. The galaxy waited to see how Earth would respond. The calculus of retaliation. Earth's response didn't come immediately. The Interstellar Human Accord, Earth's unified governing body, issued no statement for over 3 weeks. No fleets moved. No ambassadors spoke. The silence unnerved even the most hardened alien regimes. In truth, Earth had gone dark to prepare. In the core of Luna's hidden shipyards, humanity's elite response fleet, Strike Group Perseus, was being activated. This was not a war fleet. This was a tool built for finality. It had only been deployed once before, during the Sigma collapse, when a rogue AI had turned an entire star cluster into a war zone. The Perseus group had ended that in under 48 hours. The Cirith Car had no idea what was coming. Our Ival and Silent Strike Group Perseus emerged from Voidfold 0.3 light-years from the HFY's outermost world. Arkish Vale, no challenge, no warning. Human ships did not broadcast identification. They did not respond to pings. They simply moved forward in perfect, silent formation. The Syrethkar, initially dismissive, soon realized these weren't standard human fleets. Their war algorithms failed to predict the fleet's formations. The lead vessel, HMS Verity, executed a maneuver that folded local space and projected a kinetic ripple strong enough to rupture Arkish's orbiting defense grid without firing a shot. Still, no communication. The Syrethkar issued a formal demand: retreat or be annihilated. Earth did not respond with words. They responded with history. The collapse of the old ordering under 9 hours. 5 Syrethkar worlds were rendered uninhabitable. But not through brute force, through surgical precision. Human nanoforges infected atmospheric processors and turned breathable air into silicate vapor. Planetary comms were hijacked and flooded with images from Horizon Deep, played on repeat. Entire defense fleets were disabled using software viruses encoded into gravitational pulses, something no Syrethkar even thought was possible. The attack was not just devastating. It was humiliating. Still, Earth had not issued a single formal declaration of war. When galactic councils demanded answers, Earth's ambassador simply said, "We asked to be left alone." This was your warning. But the warning was already centuries too late. The last throne burns. The Syrethkar's capital world, Catharin, was a planet of crystalline towers and magnetic skies. Untouched by war for over 400,000 years, it had become more temple than city. It was here the Syrethkar had first risen, and it was here they made their final stand. Strike Group Perseus did not fire upon the city. Instead, they activated Project Duskfall, a classified human terraforming weapon that inverted entropy. In a controlled zone, within 6 minutes, the sky turned black. Towers eroded into dust. Energy grids reversed flow and collapsed into their own infrastructure. The planet's gravity lens began bending toward its core. Catharin did not explode, that it simply unraveled. Billions of years of memory, erased in one silent implosion. The new rule, the Galactic Council convened an emergency session. Humanity did not attend. They did not need to. The message was already carved into space itself. From the ruins of Catharin, a small human probe emerged. It carried a single phrase in 43 galactic languages: "Do not mistake humanity's silence. For weakness you were warned." Within weeks, multiple empires revised their military doctrines to include clauses of non-engagement with human territories. Treaties were redrafted. Trade was rerouted. Earth became a paradox feared and respected. Silent yet omnipresent. Stars that remember decades later. A peaceful delegation of young Syrethkar descendants petitioned Earth for access to cultural archives. They wished to understand what had happened, not the destruction, but the reason. Earth approved the request. No conditions, no threats. Just access. When asked why, Earth's AI historian replied, "We do not seek domination. We only protect our own." The lesson was never about power. It was about restraint and what happens when that restraint is tested. Now across galaxies, children of all species study the fate of the Syrethkar. They don't study it to learn about war. They study it to understand something far older and far more dangerous: why the universe warned, and why Earth never warns twice. Echoes in the rift. Years passed, but the Tarsi's rift did not forget. The region where Horizon Deep once floated became a memorial site, a forbidden zone monitored from afar by sentient satellites. Humanity never rebuilt the outpost. They didn't need to. Instead, they let it drift, a quiet wound in the fabric of space, a reminder to the stars that silence sometimes screams the loudest. But whispers began to spread across fringe systems. Ships had gone missing near the rift again. Ghost signals echoed through subspace, laced with fragmented human and Syrethkar transmissions. Some claimed Vorkel Prime, the dread entity. That destroyed Horizon Deep had not truly died in the retaliation. Others believed the rift had been changed, twisted by Project Dustfall's entropy reverberations. When a Zentari salvage vessel disappeared and its wreckage was found folded into itself, the Galactic Scientific Assembly begged Earth to intervene. Humanity agreed, but only on one condition: full jurisdiction. The universe consented without hesitation. Silent Vanguard, the mission to Tarsai's Rift, was led by Commander Elara Sue, a veteran of the Perseus campaign, and the only human officer decorated by non-human alliances. She didn't bring a fleet. She brought one ship, the Quiet. Sentence: a gravity shift destroyer equipped not with weapons, but with containment tech derived from quantum memory strands technology even the Cyrith car had never developed. The ship's approach to the rift caused tremors in subdimensional space. There were no weapons drawn. None were needed. Its very presence calibrated reality in a way that only humanity's most classified designs could. As the ship entered the anomaly zone, it broadcast only a single line of data to Earth: "We are entering remembrance." What followed was classified for years until it leaked. The rift had recorded the destruction of Horizon Deep as a form of imprint echoes trapped in higher-order physics. Human scientists aboard the Quiet Sentence decoded it and discovered the Cyrith. Carr had activated a relic weapon older than their empire, something they didn't build, only found. Worse, the weapon wasn't completely dormant, the forgotten. Architects delving deeper into the anomaly, the mission uncovered evidence of an extinct race. The Mirren constructs.